Hey, movie fans! Oh, I'm so excited to get to talk with you guys tonight about Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. This movie has come to us with a Rotten Tomato critic rating of 54%. Audience score 86% is a big difference. Me, where am I at? My first watch, to be truthful, I was definitely siding more with the critics. Kind of felt like it was a little bit of a mess. So much going on, things that weren't quite really fulfilled and explained. I was thrown off by some of these revelations that were thrown at us. But on the second watch, man, I was into it. I was loving it. I was cheering it. Tears coming to my eyes. My heart was being warmed by that wonderful, amazing John Williams Star Wars music and the nostalgia and just the awesomeness. And it was just like, yes, I loved it. I loved it. It was great. So go see it again if your first experience maybe was a little less than ideal, like I kind of had myself. Okay, go check it out again and see it. We're going to check in right now with Rocky in Rocky's Corner, who did not have the same first experience that I had with watching The Rise of Skywalker. So, take it away, Rocky.
Hey guys, welcome back to Rocky's Corner. I'm here to talk about one of my favorite movies of this year, The Rise of Skywalker. I loved this movie very much, and even though it may have had some imperfections, overall I loved it. For a great example, it ended in a way that really kept me satisfied. There are moments like in Infinity War where there's giant cliffhangers, or an Endgame where there's like a very sad but somber ending. But for me, this ending, and no spoilers obviously, but this ending was very, very satisfying. Made me feel, yes, the Skywalker saga is ended, and I am okay with that, and it was fine. Don't get me wrong, I'd love some more Rey, Finn, and Poe movies, but I'm satisfied. For a long while, even The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, I feel like out of those three, this was it had more of the spirit of Star Wars. It was a very Star Wars movie. You could feel that creative spirit. There was some fun moments. There were some awesome moments. There was always something cool happening on screen. It's very Star Warsy. Hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say, but I loved it.
Oh, they fly now! They fly now! They fly now!
There was never a dull moment. I kind of mentioned this, I think, in my Endgame review, is that in the very beginning of Endgame, I wasn't really put in as much, just because there wasn't a lot of action, and that makes sense. But Infinity War, I was like, my intention was always there the entire movie. And that was the exact same with Star Wars. I was attention span the whole time. I was locked on. I savored every moment. It was wonderful. One thing I really liked was Leia. So as we know, she passed during the production of The Last Jedi. But they did actually a really good job using footage from The Last Jedi. I believe that's the movie that they used, footage that they didn't use in the movie, to create The Rise of Skywalker and her character. And I think they did a great job with that. I didn't feel like it was missing anything. Obviously, you could tell that maybe there was some stuff that was from another movie in the lines, but honestly, they did just a great job. I loved the movie very much. A lot of people have been saying that it was like a lot of movie, and I agree. However, I just enjoyed every minute of it. I wasn't lost. There were some moments where they didn't explain too much of the story, and I was okay with that because it wasn't that important. As long as we knew what it was, they didn't have to explain too much about it. It was great. It was wonderful. And yeah.
Awesome, man. That's so great. Thank you for that. So cool to hear his enthusiasm, his excitement of what was done with Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. So thank you. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about what impact it's having. Man, it's a big movie, right? Maybe not quite doing everything that had been done in some of the more recent Star Wars that have been released. But pretty exciting still to see the impact that it's having on the box office and the great work that's being done there. So let's take a look now at the box office and what Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, has been doing there. It's still been pretty great. Maybe not quite what we saw with, previous installments here, but still doing very well. Domestically speaking, 451 million. That's good. And worldwide, it's at 918 million. And yeah, I'm very confident now that it's definitely going to be breaking that $1 billion mark. So that's pretty awesome for Star Wars Rise of Skywalker to have such a big impact in the box office already.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir, at my friends.
The rest of this video, guys, there are going to be spoilers, just so you know. Spoilers will be involved. I want to just kind of help you see where I was coming from and where I'm at now with this movie. So, there are two things that I'm not too fond of and didn't really like even on round 2. Okay, first of that was just the scrolling text at the beginning. I felt like here this is setting up the whole premise, and it just seemed kind of lame. Like, was this just written by like some 10-year-old for an English class assignment or something that it's elementary school teacher gave? Like, what? Like, what is this? I didn't like just like saying, hey, it's Palpatine, he's back from the dead, and blah blah blah. Like, I don't know. It didn't get me excited for the movie, and it set up the premise in a way that I was just like weirded out. And that kind of carried over for me throughout that first watch. The second thing that I still didn't like the second time watching it was the Knights of Ren. Like, lame. A few years back, there was these like straight out of Compton t-shirts that were like kind of a big deal. I felt like these guys should have been wearing straight out of Mordor. Like, they just felt so out of place and weird. Yeah, they're the Knights of Ren, but there's no explanation of like where they had been, what they had been doing, why we should care about them now. And also, they trained to be Jedi. Like, they were with Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, being trained by Luke Skywalker, and then it's just like, I don't know, it just felt dumb and weird, and well, we have to put this in here, so here it is. I don't know, I didn't like it, but that's okay. That's okay. So, things that bugged me the first time, but then I was okay with on the second watch. Number one of those, Zombie Palpatine. I was not expecting Emperor Palpatine in his returned form to be a zombie. Like, he totally just felt like a zombie. But knowing that's what it was the second time, I was fine with that. And it wasn't really a big deal. Even though they never really explained how he was quite there and what that was like. Yeah, there's things we can infer and things from the earlier movies. But still, it just kind of was just thrust at us. There it was, and the way he looked. But like I said, second time, okay, cool. That's what it is. Whatever. The second thing that really bugged me the first time, but I was okay with the second time because now I know, was Rey's parentage. And the thing that helped me on the second watch was when Luke, Force Ghost Luke, tells Rey that Leia knew it too. And I don't know, kind of just flashbacked into my mind moments in Force Awakens when Leia was with Rey, and you could tell, like, yeah, she totally knows something about her. That was back still when we were trying to guess and figure it all out. But just having that helped it work for me. Although the timeline thing of Palpatine fathering a child and then the grandkid, timeline-wise, I'm still struggling to figure that out. Maybe some of you figured it out, but that part just seems kind of weird. And then the third thing that was bugged about at first, but then okay in the end, was that kiss. I was like, what? Someone in the theater, actually, my first watch, even like kind of screamed. It was a grown man. No! Like, what? But watching it a second time, I just felt like, you know what? I think it was earned. I think Ben earned that kiss by what he was doing and what he gave for Rey. And also, like, looking back on even Last Jedi and then throughout this movie, I could see more chemistry there than I would have wanted to admit prior. But yeah, so I felt like the kiss was earned, and so I was okay with it. What were some of my favorite things in the movie? Oh man, I loved the Han Solo scene. When Han Solo appears to Ben and they have that talk and they kind of get to rehash out what should have happened the first time, and he does have the strength now to throw away the dark side and turn that leaf. Like, that was awesome. I loved that the first time and loved it the second time. And then the Rey pep talk at the end when all the Jedi are just like pumping her up and getting her to rise and to go fight the dark side and take out Palpatine. Like, that was epic, like so epic, and I loved that. So those are some of my favorites from it. My favorite shot of the movie, like cinematography wise, I loved the shot of Kylo Ren in the desert with Rey on this side. He's in all black, she's in all white, and they're both like holding on to that transport that's like trying to fly away. I mean, we only get it for a brief moment, but just that contrast of the black and the white and how they're the two sides, like, it was really cool and just such a beautiful shot. I wish we could have had maybe a little bit longer of it, but that was awesome. So many great things to enjoy. Saw it twice. Do want to go see it again. Can't wait to see it again, actually. It'll be fun to go watch it again. And I think overall they did do a good job with it, like Rocky felt too. So anyways, thanks for checking this out, everybody. Hope you have a good one. Stay safe out there. Don't text and drive. So dangerous. Not worth it. All right. We'll see you.